The odd success of both Deadpool movies almost surprised me. It seems so catered towards teenage tendencies that would alienate either older or younger viewers, but apparently the dicks, jokes, swearing, and meta gags are universal joys. In both the first Deadpool and this one, there's been a monumental box office success, which makes me wonder when the shitty attempts to copy this very specific formula will arrive. As with most mainstream studio comedies, unfortunately the hit rate of the gags are hit and miss, but weirdly, as a potential backup, if the gags don't work, the filmmakers have made the film quite plot-focused. In the comics, Deadpool has varied abilities to break the fourth wall, which often means he has existential crises about why he's even bothering to stick to the plot in the first place. The film version has Deadpool deeply connected with his girlfriend, who in the opening of the film dies. A standard plot development for a sequel, almost too standard. I thought the film was more thoughtful than this. There's almost nothing about her death that is commented on beyond the fact that Deadpool's sad. What about the fact that it's a tired cliche in not only superhero films, but basically all action films, with the returning hero to thrust him into the story? This film requires him to be sad for the first third, which is a dirty move because as the audience, you become frustrated he isn't back to his normal self. This cheap way to keep us invested in the progression of the film is one of the many plot contrivances I thought Deadpool was beyond. But I guess that's the difference between the character of Deadpool and the film he stars in. He stars in regular action fare that is heightened in quality by his commentary on it. But there's less commentary on the genre or storytelling, but rather the superficial qualities of such. On top of that, there's some good old-fashioned lowbrow humour and irreverence for any kind of plot seriousness. But there's a problem. He selectively critiques the occurrences around him, staying serious for the parts he needs to be serious, then periodically returning to his usual self. I guess this was the studio mandate to not overstuff the film with wall-to-wall humour, but I like the idea we're watching a regular X-Men film play out with Deadpool humorously guiding us through the over-serious and overstuffed X-Men story and continuity. Instead, we have Deadpool weave in and out of serious moments, lighthearted moments, and ridiculous moments. I really feel we could have had a Bugs Bunny character that doesn't respect anything that's occurring around him, and that could have worked, because we still feel danger for when Bugs Bunny gets a shotgun shoved in his face. Then we become relieved when he cheekily figures out a bonkers way to not only escape danger, but earnestness. The X-Men half of Deadpool is both over-serious and kind of ridiculous. We've seen Cable's story of sadness and vengeance 500 million times, so when he details his wife and daughter dying, we almost groan. We groan especially more when Deadpool leaves us hanging. Surely you can joke about this. Apparently not. Luckily we have ZZ Beats Domino to distract us. She has such a terrific inventive superpower that I honestly can't believe it hasn't been explored before. The power over fate and luck. The film visualizes it in such a way I honestly wanted a whole film dedicated to her beating fate and Deadpool being dead set shocked, or even disgusted with how much the movie wants her to succeed. Deadpool's humour does hit some whammies occasionally, especially when continuing the first film's theme of oversharing and complete transparency in regards to Deadpool attempting to emotionally connect with his fellow X-Men. He consistently encourages healthy sharing of emotion and sexuality. In the internet age, it would be really easy to make Deadpool be a crass buffhead laughing at anything slightly against the norm, but Deadpool consistently makes homoerotic references in it. I'm only joking if you're joking kind of way. Out of the two ways he can make sexual humour, crass and judgmental versus cheeky and flirty, in a consensual, sex-positive way, it's kind of astounding that Ryan Reynolds and his co-creators went for the much harder route. But it works in making Deadpool a fascinating, fresh comedic character for the modern comic book age. If only Deadpool could just relax and enjoy himself a bit more. It is just comic nonsense after all. I'd give it a 7 out of 10.